So welcome to week number 3 of the extra VIP learning and ego related to module 3. So recently on Facebook, someone tagged me in this image and I went, oh my gosh, this is just so module 3. And so I just show you the screen and you'll see here, ego, or the illusion of ego. What is that ego thing that Jean's going to talk about consistently in module 3? So this little cartoon says, what are we? Egos. And what do we want? Problems. Why? To be victims. And I enjoy them? Yes. Now this is crazy, but it's so module 3. And I wish I knew who the artist was so I could give full credit to them. I didn't have a name or anything with it. So full credit. Module 3 is part of understanding that, hey, we play victim, we want the problems, we just love it and we're having a great time. But module 3 is to move the patterning and imprint and stories on and go, hey, that's crazy. So what are we? Instead of egos as an illusion of separation, what do we want? Solutions and peace. Why? Not to be the victim to our pain, illusions, isolation, etc. Are we enjoying being whole? Yes, not separate. So I thought that was just absolutely fabulous. So let's get stuck into this week. It can only continue to hurt me if I hold on to it, so I let the past go. That's just like what you just saw before. All of this relates back to module 1. All of it relates back to I am the gatekeeper of my mind. Only I am, not you, not anyone. And this especially goes for when we try to protect children. There's no need to protect children because they're the gatekeeper of their mind as well, especially as they go through ups and down stages and related to the age disconnections as the millennium grid, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and then as teenagers. It can only continue to hurt me only because that's my perception. If we let it pass go, if we let the story go, nothing can hurt. If I choose to keep recycling, yeah, but when my husband, and sometimes, generally speaking, females can do this. Yes, but I remember when my husband on our wedding night, he did blah, 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 and it's like 50 years down the track. I remember my mother-in-law doing that all the time. Back then, and you wore the grey shirt with the blue tie. It's like we want to hold on to the pain. We want to hold on to that hurt. There's a benefit and a bonus. And if you've done the Money Magnet course, you'll understand about benefit and bonus. But here it's about understanding that I can just let the story go. So in the beginning of modules 1 to 5, at the very beginning of the intro, which I'm sure that people don't read, I'm just going to read it for you. Thank you from my heart for connecting with me and taking the next evolutionary step in life to recognize your own absolute empowerment. The intention of Millennium Education and its courses is to reconnect those who are ready back to the original source from which they were created, absolute love. This is done using cutting-edge sciences and techniques that can create miracles if you play 100%. My personal intention is that you have a breakthrough on some level to feel empowered and discover your own reality of truth, life purpose, and all that you recall your own wisdom. Now, what is a breakthrough? This bit's not in the book for me. A breakthrough is a moment in time where something that was impossible becomes possible. And that's part of the absolute. You're about to commence a journey of self-discovery and personal growth to a new millennium and dimension. And part of the new millennium, as I have my awakening and understand the illusion of separation, is that everything is in love. And it is so simple. It only can continue to hurt me if I hold on to it. It's just a story, module 1. These courses are about integrating life to pure potentiality and abundance, conscious living, and awakening a journey of self-realization and a transformation to work from the heart. It is innovation and learning in medical intuitive studies using quantum physics, New Age science, universal mind consciousness, transformation and connection to true abundance. And true abundance is love. These modules are designed for you to gain the understanding of what is happening in your mind, body, and spirit. The body's physical manifestation of what's occurring in the inside, and the body is a medium for expressing its disconnection from the absolute. You will explore realities, let go of limiting beliefs, create a world of peace and harmony. This incorporates sacred geometry. Part of this is to clean the slate and rewrite the story. All of this aligns with when I grasped the story of Module 3, I went, oh my gosh, it only continues to hurt me if I relate it to pain and hold on to it. So fine, I've had and experienced a very colourful background. Some of the things that I've gone through as a kid are horrific, but I don't continue to hold on to the hurt. I've always seen it as a learning lesson, because the past does not determine the future. However, the past does allow me to create the future. You see, I understood that my behavior could be changed at any stage, and that behavior is like changing my state. Is it going to be in fear or is it going to be love? Am I going to be angry, annoyed, resentful? No. And part of Module 1 is when we find the story, release the emotional attachment to the body consciousness. We then understand that we can change the behavior. I don't have to depend on other people to change it for me, which allows us to be interdependent, which is part of Module 4. Not so crippled of an identity brain of disease where I rely on everyone. I can be dependent, independent. I find happiness in my journey as well as my destination. Quite often, I was told that when you get that, when you do that, when you have that, when you achieve that, you will be happy. But I had to really grasp the concept of being happy along the journey. And that was just so important as I lay on the bathroom floor, ensuite floor, for 7 days hugging the toilet bowl. The pain in my head was just excruciating. No matter what I would have taken, Panadol, Pethidine, anything, the pain wouldn't go. I had to learn to be happy on the journey. And I would have glimpses of that happiness as Josh and Jamie would come in eating whatever they could get because they had to look after themselves. I found happiness in the journey of my dog laying beside me. Lucky Dog howled at certain times as I went through death processes. I found happiness in the journey of when I could actually sleep and the pain would stop momentarily. Quite often we forget to find happiness in the journey. People are rushing around so madly like little ants. Go there, go there, go get that, no, that. And then they get the thing and they're not happy. I explain this in Module 5. When there becomes a here, we obtain another there. And my beautiful late mother-in-law was an example of this, the opposite. She would go out and buy cushions. Couldn't find the perfect cushion. She'd come home with the blue cushions, put them on the couch and have them for 2 weeks, but she'd keep the tax invoice receipt just in case. She didn't find happiness in choosing the cushions. And she could buy whatever price cushions she wanted to, but there was no happiness. And those cushions there, well, they went back to the haberdashery shop. And then she fell victim to the ego. Oh, I have to go back to the shop and exchange it. I just don't know what to get. She didn't find happiness in the journey. The only time I saw her find happiness in the journey was when the dementia was 3/4 set. 4th quarter, she got aggressive. But she found happiness in the journey of watching children, watching her grandchildren, being in a space of void. So once I found happiness in the journey, as well as the end destination, I was able to put my walking shoes on and go out in the day, smiling, singing, going, let's go, let's play. And yet we forget to teach this to children. We teach them, oh, look, it's a long way. Here's a iPad, a phone, a tablet, a mini iPad. We get to teach them, look outside the window. How many birds can you see? Or I spy with my little eyes something green. It's the grass. No, the trees. No, I spy with my little eyes something green in the car. It's a chip packet. No. Johnny's t-shirt. No. What a difference the world would be if they understood I find happiness in my journey as well as my destination. So many people reach their destination and are miserable. They lose the weight and then they go, is this it? They get the award. Is this it? They get the house, the partner, the money. Is this it? But what about being happy on the journey? For when you get to your destination, you actually understand more about yourself and what is possible. I find happiness in my journey, and I put on my walking shoes and go outside with a smile and a song. That opened up a huge pain. Consciousness. What is consciousness? If I'm lying on the floor and I'm supposed to be waking up to consciousness and all these past life memories and not knowing who I am and patterns and grids and voids and everything are happening, what the hell is consciousness? I don't understand. Consciousness, the way we perceive ourselves. So if I perceive myself as sick, great. Happy, great. Rich, great. Poor, great. Dumb, great. Consciousness, whatever you perceive it as. And then we become more conscious of that. As soon as I understood this concept, I was able to do more. When I perceived myself as a millionaire, as an author, as a mum, as a whatever, life changed. Sometimes people will say, I'm here to raise the consciousness of the world. Consciousness. The way I perceive myself first. Because if we raise our own consciousness and perceive ourselves as love, we actually start to see everyone and everything in love. But there can be stories attached as well. So you watch people and see their stories, but that doesn't define who they are. Consciousness, the way I perceive myself. And what if I perceive myself as anything at that time? How do you do it? Just like child. A child who says, I'm going to be Superman. And what are they? Superman. I'm an astronaut. I'm going to make a cup of tea in there, out in the backyard with water and dirt and sludging and mud. Consciousness. Perception. Your perception is your own reality. Part of consciousness and the way you perceive yourself is your business, not anyone else's. And what really struck with this particular saying was after I had my awakening, and I said, that's it. I can't go back to nursing. I let my nursing registration go, and I had someone very close to me say, if you're going to do this sort of work, you are an embarrassment to take out, and you've cost the family money. We can't take you anywhere normal. Consciousness, the way we perceive ourselves. I didn't see myself that way. That wasn't my story. I had a choice to take on that story, but it's not the way I perceive myself. Still today, consciousness, the way I perceive myself. Still today, some people think I do woo-woo weird stuff, or don't understand, or don't know even how to talk to me. Consciousness, the way I perceive myself, that I'm love, I'm providing a service, I'm in business just like other people. I do it in the colour pink with hearts. Someone else does it as a mechanic. Someone else does it as a lawyer. Consciousness. How do you perceive yourself? Trust is the faith and confidence in ourselves, not others. As the journey started to unravel, I had to understand what real trust is. I understood it was like that gut feeling, which I call solar plexus. Trusting in me. I know it will work. I know if I do this work, I know. But it came back to faith. Certain of what you hope for and sure of what you do not see. Just knowing that it's me. I can do it. And if I know I can do it, then I'll have team on board. It may not be the direct family of friends that we expect it to be, but it's me. Trust. That trust still plays today. The trusting of making this all online, having the faith, certain of what I hope for, sure of what I do not see, to make all my programs online with the COVID-19. Not relying on others, not waiting for them to give me confidence, not waiting for their appraisal or approval. Just understanding it's me. If I can get up in the morning and dress myself, then I can really do anything. Certain of what I hope for, sure of what I do not see. Trust. The faith and confidence in ourselves, not others. This was also important of understanding that why do I trust other people when they let me down? Well, that was my story. They didn't let me down. I was letting myself down. I was putting trust in other people for just little things. My in-laws to look after the kids for me, but they weren't there. Sure, we'll take the kids any time. We understand your husband's away in the army. And when I was going through this, I rang them and said, listen, I'm not well. Could you please take the kids for a couple of hours just so I could rest? Oh, no, we can't. But I trusted them. I had more faith in the outside world than me. I was able to look after the boys while I went through this. Yet we trust other people and then we get really angry. Why? Because we put high expectations on them and put a story of the way we think we should be, when really the story is about us. Because if we replace the thoughts that cause us discomfort with thoughts that make us feel comfortable, our life changes. Again, it's back to module 1, just a story. I replace the thoughts. Really easy. Rub it out. Just rub it out. The way I used to do it when I had depression when I was 26 was I used to visualize a stop sign. As soon as I had a crazy thought of I'm horrible, I'm not lovable, stop sign. And then I'd pop in an affirmation. But to replace the thought when thoughts are things, it was like I was going shopping. Yeah, I don't want that thought. I'll put it back on the shelf. I'll take that thought. Thank you very much. And it was understanding that I was allowed to do this, giving myself permission to actually do this. Even if other people were not feeling good about themselves, I was allowed to replace thoughts that were hurting with thoughts that made me feel good. It was all in my mind. Nobody could enter my mind except me. That was extremely powerful for me. To replace the thoughts with things that didn't hurt me allowed me to know that I was the gatekeeper of my mind. Because why do some people seem to be able to be positive and happy or do well, and others not? You might have heard me talk about the benefits, the benefit of that. An example. If a client says, Jane, I've just been diagnosed with breast cancer and the house is on fire and my husband's left me and I've run over the dog, I go, that's great. Okay, so let's change the lifestyle. If we replace the thoughts that discomfort us and replace it with comfort of what is the new opportunity. If we understood these universal laws, those that have just lost their job with everything that's happening at the moment with CV-19, they would see the huge opportunities. Time to sleep, to cook meals, to renovate the house, have time with the family, change career, rest, meditate, journal, start a new hobby, have peace, create recipes, write a book. And yet, we push away the universal law. A simple task. Just replace the thought, just like you would replace a flat tire. Just replace it. And yet, the more complex we make it, the less likely we will actually do it. Change the story. Guess what happens? Simple. It happens. What you focus on is what you get. And this has been written in so many different ways, especially in all the ancient books, Bible, Quran, Torah, Book of Enoch, Course of Miracles, all of them. And when I understood that I could replace the thought, just like put it back on the supermarket shelf and get something else, the more I focused on that thing, the more I got it. Now, I learned about this briefly when I had depression, called reticular activating system, your conscious mind and your focus. But the more I focused on the love, everything working, change the thoughts, replace the thoughts, the more I just kept getting more and more and more. And I continued to do this. Focus on what's great. Focus on what's great. The more I get it. But these universal laws can trigger people. In fact, at 7 o'clock this morning, I was on a networking group. I'm the only female, and they're all males. And we had to introduce ourselves on another webinar program. 30-minute spiel. Hi, my name is Jean Sheen of Millennium Education, blah, 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 blah. Instead of doing that, it was saying, hi, I'm Jean, and how has CV-19 affected you? And when I said the focus, for me, I've been able to give more love and service to people. The group didn't understand. Their focus was on the doom, the gloom, the news, the rules. And what did they get more of? Doom and gloom. So when you focus on that thing, you get more. And my most favourite thing to teach in Module 5 is focus on all the hearts. They'll be everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Clouds, trees, leaves, vomit on the ground, mandarin skins in the grass. Everything will start to look like hearts. Everything. Money magnet. I am a money magnet. I am a philanthropist. It always works out. The focus is right there. And you know what? You are a money magnet, philanthropist, and everything does work out. So what you focus on is what you get. Amen? Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't. Yep, sure, right. Which goes back to the focus. So if I focus on, I can't do this, I can't lose the weight, or I can't walk, or I can't whatever, congratulations, you're the winner. But when this came in, I went, I'm going to prove it. Part of me was rebellious. Part of my ego was saying no, resisting the new millennium way. So I'd say, no, not possible, not possible. Sure enough, it wasn't possible. Was I proving myself right? Was I proving myself wrong? Was I trying to make a thing wrong or right? Part of Module 4. And this also relates to your reality. What is your reality? Do you want to focus on the thoughts that make you discomfort or comfort? Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, just is. Say I can't? Sure. It's the most simplest rule ever. And yet we complicate it. I can't do that. I can't do that. And when this came up, all the limitations that I had put towards my husband, oh, I can't do that, he wouldn't like it. I can't do this because he wouldn't like it. Sure enough, that's what I got. That had nothing to do with him. Whereas now, I can. I will. That's it. Does he say anything? Maybe, maybe not. But whether you think you can, such as when people say, I can't grow anything, I can't cook. That's not true. Everyone can do everything. There's a difference. I don't read recipes to cook. I like to create my own. But I don't say I can't read recipes, because that's not true. So whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. That's just it. And the universe says, okay, there you go. You can't, no problems. Here's all the things that align with that. Oh, you can? Here's all the things that align with that. There's no emotion attached to either. It's just us that complicate it and put emotion to it and put meaning to it. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find it. Knock and it shall be open to you. Again, all in the ancient books. So when I focus on it, and if I think I can, which is really saying I asked for it, oh my gosh, here it is. Look at that. Oh, it just lands in my door. And these were the universal laws to the law of attraction and manifesting. To understanding, manifestation is a sign, a symbol. Just yesterday, I took some time off from work. And I thought, you know what? I want a book. And there was a particular book that I wanted, Dying to Be Me. A gorgeous soul said that I could borrow her book, Dying to Be Me. I kept forgetting to get it from her. I went, no. And I went, look, there's an op shop. I know they've got books in there. So I went in. My focus was, I focus on what I want. Well, you think I can? Yes, I will. I walk in. There it is. $2 on the shelf. I walk straight out. Easy. Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find it. Knock and it shall be opened to you. And yet sometimes our body consciousness is doing this and we totally ignore it. Whether it be vomiting, gastro, UTI, diabetes, cancer, whatever it is. Knock. Knock. Make a sound. I want that. Have you heard children do it? Especially their aqua personality. Can I have that? Can I have some of that? Why can't I have that? Or I remember my youngest son when he first started school. Why can't I go into the teacher's staff room? They're having coffee. Can I have one? Why can't I have one? Not that he had coffee at home. Ask, and it should be given to you. When he was younger, we'd go into the supermarket before he could speak properly. And we would say to a lady, "Lady, buy," where there was little toys that he'd pull down from the shelf. Go straight up to some stranger. "Lady, buy, lady, buy." Ask, and it shall be given to you. Or he still plays this game today. He had 2 cars. The first car, big 4-wheel drive. He bought for $4,000. Loved it. Would go camping on the North Shore in Noosa. Then he decided to buy a black ute. Loved it. Except he learnt black is hard to keep clean and the low scoop at the front is hard to park the car. He wanted to sell the car. Ask and it shall be given to you. So his price, he bought it for $15,000. He put it on Facebook Market for $22.5. Someone said yes. That fell through, but he said, "I want a deposit, $2,500. He got it. He kept the black ute. I don't want to pay 2 regos. He sold the beast, as we called the 4-wheel drive. He bought it for 4. He sold it for $7.5. Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find it. And he is seeking. He's 20, and he's already saved up a deposit for a house. We forget to ask. Ask. And just like I forgot to ask this gorgeous soul for that book, I asked elsewhere. I want that book. Oh, op shop is open. Oh, straight in. Books are there. There it was, literally jumping out at me. Be open to receive. Always be open to receive. Learn from the past, plan for the future, and live in the now. And this related to the Millennium Calendar as it came through. It isn't about staying in the pain of the past and holding on to the past like we started. It was a learning from it. So I'll give you an everyday example. Over the years, I've seen many a client about weight loss. I was the last resort. They had done everything. I can tell you now they hadn't, because if they'd done any of the systems, they would have worked. But they were not learning from the past. So as we did a medical intuitive session, we needed to find out what is the story. Find the story, the past story, because that past story is still playing out now, hence why they couldn't lose the weight. And part of the past, oh, I chose not to walk. Oh, I'd get the munchies 11 o'clock at night. My partner would come home and I'd emotionally eat. At the end of the day, I felt like a failure. There are all these different sorts of stories from different people. If we learn from the past, we actually get to live in that now. When we live in the now, we'll change the frequency and the story so that the future is different. That's like learning history at school, which they don't do anymore. Learn from the past. Plan for the future. And yet we don't plan for the future either. We're just like a mouse on a wheel that's stuck going round and 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 round. And yet the universe gives us the ancient codes of the millennium calendar, the grid, medical astrology, to learn from the past. Learn the seasons, winter, new beginnings, spring, birth and nurture, summer, harvest, and autumn, time for completion. Learn from it. See what it's like. That's one advantage we have over all the animals, is that we can actually learn from the past to design our future. They learn from the past very quickly to plan for the now. But what if you took that moment to learn from the past? It's not about blaming the past or the past life or anything else. But if you were to look back at your past, whether it was today, yesterday, last week, last month, last year, last decade, last 20 years, what did you learn? Did you learn that you like to walk? Did you learn that you like to be with people? So my learning from the past was I loved the metaphysical. I always loved the metaphysical. I also learned from the past that every time I shared about the metaphysical, I was quickly shushed. I almost had to do it in secret. What that allowed me to do was live in the now and no more shushing or hiding. That allowed me to plan for the future of, okay, so I want to public speak about this, keynote speak, run courses, workshops. Learn from the past. I don't want to be the submissive woman. As I watched my mum be submissive, that allowed me to live in the now and plan for the future. Learn from the past. I didn't want to be quiet as a little girl. I wanted to talk. Learn from the past. Each night, as I go to sleep, I reflect on the day. I reflect on yesterday. I see the changes. I journal. I meditate, which allows me to live now and plan in the future as I go to sleep into alpha state, to wake up the next morning for it to be whatever I want it to be. Because what you think, you create. I'll give an example. You've just bought a brand new white linen shirt. You go and buy a cup of coffee and you say to yourself, now watch me spill this the coffee on my brand new shirt. And guess what happens? You spill the coffee on a brand new shirt. Or, a prime example, somebody comes into your house and you haven't swept the floor and you say, don't look at the floor, I haven't swept it. Guess what happens? Everyone looks at the floor and sees that you haven't swept it. We forget the law of attraction and quantum reality. What you think, you create, which all aligns with this focus. The bonus that we have is emotions. That you can drop into a feeling at any stage. You can be very quick as you release your feelings. It might be a story comes up, you drop into the old story, feel the sadness, pain, loss, and move on and go, oh, okay, I feel great now. And we forget that imagination, just like a child. When we imagine, we believe. Is it imagination? Is it connecting to the future? What is it? if you see it or it pops into your mind, is it real? And all of this related to separation ego. Because what was happening was my brain was emptying out of the pain stories. I was relearning how to think differently. What you think, you create. So what I thought about was goal setting, planning my business. I had the feeling behind it. I wanted to be of service and share love and support people. I imagined big time. I would see myself on stage, see myself with big audiences, with awards, with books. My body didn't know what was real or not real. My mind didn't know. So it believed it. What you think, you create. What you feel, you create. If I got you right now just to drop in and drop your shoulders and think of something really bad and feel it, you would create that feeling straight away and be it. And yet if I said, take a breath, sit back, shoulders back, sit up straight, you feel, then you create. Some people see things as they are and say, why? Me? I say, why not? I dream things that never were and say, why not? Instead of saying why, as in, why did this happen? Why is this going on? It's why not? Why not have the CV19? What's it done for us? Why not have chocolate cake? Why not sleep in? Why not walk for late? When people see things as they are they seeing it in pain? And then when we see things as they really are, it's why not? And you'll quite often hear children say that. Why not? Why not? Great players believe in themselves. Average players want someone to believe in them. And it was like a slap in the face when I heard this. I was the average player. I wanted everyone to believe in me. Because I didn't focus on me doing things. My brain was being rewired again. Be different. Think different. The nervous system was incredibly on high alert as the Kundalini energy and DNA was happening. Great players believe in themselves. If life is a game, I need to play great. Now, I understood that role from school. I used to play sport really well, primary and high school. When I was in that zone, I was always the one that hit a home run with baseball or pop the ball for tennis or netball, shoot the goal. But if I wanted someone else to believe in me, I noticed that I played awful. And it was the same in my relationships. Whether I was nursing, a mum, a wife. I needed to take that action and go, right, what's my focus? Learn from the past. What am I thinking? I create it. And be that great player in life. If you want your dreams to come true, the first thing you need to do is wake up. And that's exactly what was happening. I was waking up to a different reality. It was just like my brain was completely mush. Completely nothing. And I was finally waking up out of the chrysalis. Although I was fully awake as a baby, and fell asleep. It was time to wake up to what else is possible. What else is out there? And that wake up was to see that everything was love. Nothing was done to me, it was gifted to me. The wake up, one of the ways that I woke up, that I explained in my money magnet event. We had no money for food. I had created a similar situation to when I was a little girl. I was horrified of what I'd done. We had a money situation between my husband and I where there was no money. So I took a breath, thought, right, I'm going to go and ask help. It was very, very hot, a humid summer day. And I popped my younger son in the pram. My older son walked beside me. We had our other dog, Lucky. I walked up a huge hill. I couldn't drive because I had no money for petrol. I walked up a massive hill pushing the pram. My older son was saying, I'm tired. The hill's bad. I said, I know. We just got to go. My wake up was I needed to ask. I needed to ask. At the top of the hill was my parents-in-law. My mother-in-law wasn't at home. I knocked on the door. And my father-in-law said, oh, come in. The boys saw a bowl of fruit on the table. I said, Poppy, can we eat that? Can we eat that? And they devoured the fruit. And I said, Pop, can I see you upstairs? Sure. I had to wake up. I had to ask. I had to ask. I had to ask. Ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. With the words, ask and you shall receive. Knock and it shall be opened. I've knocked. Okay, go for it. Just wake up, go. Do it. We're having problems with money and I was just wondering whether I can have $20 to buy some food for the children. If you put yourself there, get yourself out, no, you can't have money. You can leave. Bang. Wake up. The kids were fed. I said, come on, boys, let's go back down the hill. Come over to swim in Poppy's pool? No, he's busy at the moment. Made sure the dog had water. The kids had water. Down the hill we went. I cried all the way home. I had a wake up. The bestest thing my father-in-law ever did was say no. My wake up was, right, if you want to make money from your business, you start right now. If you want to make your dreams come true, you start right now. By the time I got home, I'd finished blubbering. It's time to bath the kids, pop them into bed. And I sat and I journaled and I looked up for jobs of any income in the local paper. This is before Google. And I found a job cleaning factories in a particular street. I went, I'm going to take that job. I'm not going back to nursing. I need some pocket money to create my business. If you want your dreams to come true, the first thing you need to do is wake up. So thank you for my wake-up call. I'm not responsible for others' behavior. I'm responsible for me. When I understood that, it was like, yeah. Was I hurt when my father-in-law said no? Absolutely. Did I have high expectations? He'd give me the money? Yes. Did I feel responsible for his behavior? Yes. Did I feel burdened? Yes. But I suddenly understood I am responsible for me. Only me. My behavior and how I feel. And the responsibility wasn't like the burdens. It was, I will respond and I'm able. I can do this. Let's go. Let's make it happen. And in that journey, just like tonight, all of it was about consciousness, perception, and focus. The brain was starting to rewire in a different frequency, changing the patterns, changing the imprint, reviewing everything that I had been taught subliminally, consciously, school, home, friends, family. It's me. I can do this. I can create my new journey. So I get you all to take a big breath in and breathe all the way out. Knowing that ego is the illusion of separation. And that all we're separate from is the universal laws that say everything is within us, which has been written in so many books, yet we forget. And then we have these crazy human experiences and we complicate it. And yet we get to write it. Clean the slate. You see, in the law of attraction, it's impossible to define what is you and where the energy of you and others begin. If we could see that, there'd be no fighting, hunger, pain, or fear. This isn't reality yet, because as a human society, we're on a journey of self-discovery and evolution. We get tricked up on loving ourselves. Whereas if we understood the complete whole love, like you learn in the Millennium Modality, we stop being blind. We start to wake up and see. We understand then, selfless, boundless, no separation. But when we're in pain, reality is no longer perfect. It suddenly feels very dual, and everything that we wanted or wished for is replaced with more pain. Yet, it's really simple. What is your focus? It's time to wake up. So, on that note, as we finish up, does anyone have any questions or insights they would like to share? All you need to do is just unmute yourself and you can talk.
Not for me, thanks, Jean.
Thank you, Sam. Anyone else?
No, nothing for me.
Thank you. Ladies, thank you so much for joining this evening. And for those that are listening to the replay, if you have questions, just put them in the group as well.